You want to do some distillation runs, but you're not sure what's the difference between a stripping run and a rectifying run. Let me go break down the different types of distillation runs we normally use. Hey everyone, Distiller Greyling here, one of your favorite home and hobby distillers. Today I want to give you my take on different distillation runs and when to use them. I want to handle 5 runs today. I want to look at stripping runs, spirit or rectifying runs, reflux runs, infusion runs and extraction runs. Now a stripping run is done very fast and without cuts, and that's just to clean out your wash before it is redistilled. Stripping runs are also normally done in a pot still that's got a lower efficiency than a column still, and the speed of the run is normally dependent on what the condenser can handle. The product from a stripping run is normally called your low wines, and it's at a higher ABV or proof than what your wash was, but at a lower ABV or proof than what your end product will be. The purpose of a stripping run is to make the amount of liquid more manageable when you need to redistill it in your spirit or rectifying run. A spirit or rectifying run can be done straight from your wash, but more times than often it's used with the low wines that you get from your stripping run. A spirit or rectifying run is also done very slower, and it's got different cuts, namely your foreshorts, heads, hearts and tails. If you guys want to know more, go check out my last video I did where I explain these cuts in more detail. Now your spirit run you can do in a pot still, but it just means that you might need to redistill it or run 1 or 2 pot stills to get a palatable product. Using a column still with bubble plates or packing inside, you can get that desired product you want in one run, and we would normally call that our product run. Go check out this video where I explain how bubble trays and perforated plates work. Reflux runs are normally done in a reflux column, and it's typically used when you want to make a neutral alcohol or a vodka that's at a higher ABV than your other products. Reflux runs are done in a reflux column, and it's normally used when you want neutral spirit or a vodka with a high proof or a high ABV. We use a normal column still that has got bubble trays or packing inside, and we place a reflux condenser or defragminator right at the top. When you open your cooling water on your reflux condenser, all the vapor that goes up then gets condensed in this condenser and then gets pushed back down into your column, and nothing is then let out to get distilled and collected on the other side. With all that vapor that goes up and gets condensed and goes back down into your column, you then start to purify your product until you get to the point that you know your desired product. Then you will start to cut back on the cooling water and slowly let some of that vapor pass through, gets condensed and gets collected. Infusion runs are normally called gin runs, but there's a lot of different botanicals that you can use, and you don't always have to make a gin. The 2 most common infusion runs that I know is direct infusion and vapor infusion. Direct infusion is when you take your botanicals and you place it inside your boiler with the neutral alcohol and you start your run. You can do it in a pot still. Just make sure that your heat source and your boiler doesn't burn your botanicals. Either have a false bottom at the bottom or have your botanicals in a bag and suspend it right inside this neutral alcohol as it's boiling. For vapor infusion, you want your botanicals right in the vapor path as you distill your neutral alcohol. You can do it in a gin basket, a thumper or even a straight pipe, as long as 100% of this vapor passes through this botanicals to extract the flavor and then gets condensed and you have your end product. Extraction runs are normally used for the manufacturing of essential oils, concentrates and essence. Very much similar to vapor infusion, but vapor extraction don't have to use only neutral alcohol, you can even use water. As the vapor or steam goes up and extracts the oil out of the botanical you want, you then recondense it. You take that distillate you have then and you let it stand, let the oil and the solvent or water separate from one another. You then drain out the water and solvent up until the point where you only have the oil that you want. I hope this helps you guys to understand distillation runs a bit better and when to use them. Until I check you guys again, remember to be awesome, to be kind, and be yourself. Cheers.